All right, let's go start some stuff. Check. All right, let's see. Okay, that's working. That's working. What? All right. Hello, everybody. Check that chat. Move my monitor real quick. Let me move my monitor real quick. All right. Okay. Get this all set up. All right. How's it going? All right. Turn this off. Make sure that stream's going. My mic working? Yeah. Okay. Enough video. What? I think we're back. Okay. Okay. There we go. That was it. All right. So, oh, boop. All right. So what we got today going on is the new beta came out for HiBean. So I think this one's gonna actually work with Jesus Christ. Let's just back up a little bit. All right, and this one's gonna work with the V2, so it'll start graphing and everything, and hopefully we can play with all the other stuff like the software PID that they implemented, and what else did they do? Did a bunch of other stuff too. I can't remember, but let's go take a peek at what's going on. So I just downloaded it on my tablet. So I'm going to open this up. And, uh-oh. I'm just log in all my stuff. All right, there we go. Yeah. Now you know exactly where I'm at. So, add device, agree. So here are all the other like different roaster options that you can use for HiBean. Like I've never heard of these two, and of course they got the Kaleidos that all seem to be working. Will has his own little like HiBean arc whatever unit that's supposed to be attaching to different roasters, and then you got this scientific looking motherfucker right here. I have no idea what that is, but look like they're just a bunch of like different air roasters. Then we have us over here. We don't have a picture yet. We'll probably get one eventually, but who knows? So right here, I click on here, or tap on there, and then you could do like tap on Skywalker V2. I'm gonna just focus on the V2 today. So we're gonna hit up the V2. We're gonna look for AK roaster, this thing right here. We're gonna connect to that. But first thing we gotta do is, let me get my other camera going. Restart. There we go. We're gonna go to the tablet, and so on this tablet, this great piece of machinery right here, we're gonna hit settings, and we're gonna hit Bluetooth on, and then we're gonna put this away, far away. That's it. We don't need it anymore. So once that's on, you want to make sure that's on because that's how you're going to connect with the V2. So we'll hit add AK roaster, then we'll pair it. And let me move this down. I'll move this camera. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so we paired it, and we can go back. I could show you again. So here's Skywalker V2. Let me restart this program again. Oops. Oh, shit. Hold on. There you go. So I'm gonna just delete this real quick. I think I made that a little buggy. So add device. I'm gonna scroll till we see TC4, Skywalker V2. And just wait till AK roaster comes back. So this is all beta. So it just literally just came out last night. I think he dropped it. Come on. You know what? Let me clear this out. There it is. All right. Thank God we found it. So yeah, so you're gonna add in the 8K roaster, that pairs. And we have our Bluetooth on. All right, so say disconnected. So we'll go ahead and hit it's right here. Just click on here. We play the waiting game. There we go. If you heard that, it turns on. Like, it'll start rotating the drum and turn on the heater. So you can go to quick control, you can turn all that stuff off. As far as I know, I don't think the cooling fan is working. I tried to, last time it didn't turn on. Usually you'd hear the cooling fan for the beans turn on. So what I have been doing is going in here, go to developer, and you want to do like an enable device control terminal. And I'll give you this little bug right here. And for that, you would have to do something like cool down on. This is probably temporary. You can hear it turn on, and then you could do off. It's probably something temporary. He just has to add the button in, or Will does. But in case you ever need the terminal to, check if everything's working all right and seeing the read and the return values, it's right in this setting over here, developer, and enable device control terminal. And if anyone ever needs logs, you can upload your logs or download your logs to see what's going on too, if you're having any issues. All right. With that said, next thing we're gonna do is go to device. And this is where you kind of start off. We usually start off manual, unless you got some like profiles you want to scan in. You could use a QR code to scan those in. I'll show you that later. But hit create. So what coffee bean? Let's see what coffee bean I'm gonna put in. I think I got some Kenyas. I'll put it in Kenya real quick. Hit confirm and add that in. And then you want to create the profile, and we'll just do a custom profile. We'll start off with, and whatever profile name you want. So maybe you want like a Kenya medium or whatever fancy name you want. Kenya medium washed or fancy, all that kind of stuff. However you want to get the name out. Or again, you could call it the fifth crack. Real charcoal stuff. Hit confirm. We don't have a reference curve, so we're just gonna start winging it, right? So this looks good. Let's try. Let's look at the settings real quick, because I think, yep, software PID settings. So if you want to change your software PID settings, if you feel like you need to change it up or something, or you feel like you could improve upon them, or you want to do some manual PID adjustment, there's the settings you would do. There's a lot of videos online that can show you how to control that. I won't be able to do that in like the amount of time I have today, but there definitely are videos for that. Heat setup, adjustment, turn off heater after drop, and there's all those kind of settings you want. Like if you want to turn off the fan after drop, or turn off the heater after drop, turn off the drum after drop. You can do all those kind of things, but no need to manually mark the charge limit. So I'm going to do that. You can mark the temp drop threshold. It's very customizable. I think there's all this new stuff that they added. There's soak settings if you're into that soak setting stuff, but I won't get into that because I haven't played with that yet. Actually, I haven't really played with this other than just messing around with it last night. So yeah, we'll hit to go to device, start a manual roast, and then let's hit up preheat. So now I want to say if I were to have our target temperature be 200. Oh, let's go back. I should start the preheating process. And it looks like from what the PID settings are, it just turns it on and off. I don't know why. Maybe doing like some kind of bang bang PID control. But I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna bump it up to 80%. And then I'll when I get closer to the temp I want, then I'll probably switch over to the target temp. Any idea when they will release the Mac version of the app for V2? So iOS basically you need BLE, right? They need that Bluetooth low energy. They don't like, I don't think they use any of the classic Bluetooth to interface with like iOS or whatever. So yeah, so you would have to wait until somebody modifies like an ESP32 to add to the back in order for us to do that. Because right now the V2 was only Bluetooth. And for iOS, I think they require you to have like require you to do all that kind of stuff through BLE. And that's the kind of that's what they do. Yeah, the V2 controller works to iOS and MacBook through Artisan, right? But for HiBean, yeah. But through HiBean, you have to yeah, the apps through like iOS, I guess, they can only use BLE as a requirement. I'm not sure why. It would be so much easier if we could just use Bluetooth. Yeah, it could be a matter of writing the correct driver, or I don't know. All I know is when I talked to Will, he said it has to use the Nordic UUID BLE stuff in order for the app to be on the store. But for Android, you can just download the APK from him. And I don't know why. And that was one of the stipulations, is like if you wanted to, keep writing the code for HiBean, he wanted to make sure that both Android and iOS could do it, and so that would have to be over BLE. But I don't have a Mac. I don't have any iOS stuff. I have an old iPhone 12 that my wife has, and that's the only way I know that it kind of works. I can't. Yeah. Unfortunately. But you could talk to Will about it. This guy. I'll give you his name. Will Z. Yeah, and he'll kind of go over that iOS App Store stuff. I don't have any like yeah. He just tells me what to do, and I try to hammer in the code to do it. But I have to give him a shout out to this guy. He's actually been the guy behind the scenes helping me out with the code, because he actually does code. I don't. I work in the medical field. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm surprised I got this far along to getting the app installed, but now we have a legitimate coder. So it's been kind of nice. But that's what you get when you get for free, right? All right, so now it's getting close to the target temp, so I'm just going to switch over to 195C. I'm gonna hit auto. I mean, it's all open. Like there's no, like there's no stipulation of what you can and can't do. You can always contact Will. He always likes the help, but it's just if you're running through, like for me, for instance, I just do everything for free because I like that kind of open source vibe. I'm definitely not making a profit. I'm kind of in the negative, but it's okay. It's all for the fun of roasting coffee, right? And getting more people into it. Like in my back, I still have like 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 V2s left. There's a few people that I convinced just to stick with their V1 because they're just to stick with the V1 at this point, and they're like, okay, because there's not a huge difference between the V2 and V1 other than a new drum motor and the new controller. That's about it. There's nothing amazing about it, to be honest. I'll go to 200. I'll move that to 200. I'm gonna see what it does. Oh, I should probably turn the drum on, turn the fan on. Fan, I'm just gonna do 75. I don't know how the software PID works. Oh, I didn't do that. Shit. Well, still a little sensitive. I guess this is still kind of wonky in terms of the PID, their software PID. Because I see it's on, it's just turning on and off. It's not really maintaining a temperature. If we take a closer look, let me put my camera on it. We'll keep that on there. You can see it's kind of just fluctuating, like it's definitely changing the intensity of the lamp, but it looks like it's just turning on and off. There's no real heat being improved or being retained. It's not going up to 200C. So, all beta, so something we gotta figure out later. Oh, why do I keep a fan at 75? I usually just keep my fan just the one, really just one setting the whole time. And this is just me basing all my stuff off of what's his name? Rob Hoos. He likes to keep his fan setting at like one setting when you first start off, and then you can adjust it later when you get more comfortable with the beam. I really just use the lighter method. So, hope my lighter works. Oh yeah, I mean you could follow Scott Rao. I'm not a huge Scott Rao fan. A lot of his stuff is kind of like you have to do it a certain way, and it's kind of concrete. I'm more of a Rob Hoos fan, where he's really flexible with things, and I just and literally Rob Hoos has a V1 at his house. Like I sent him one, he's actively playing with it, so he's really open to the idea of home roasters. So that's what I really like about Rob Hoos. But Rob Hoos is kind of like a guy who starts as a certain, whatever fan that you have it at, as long as it passes the lighter test. The lighter test is really just like you put a lighter and you just see if the flame goes in, like if it's sucking it in. This is not a very good lighter to use with, but I have another lighter that I was using that when the flame goes inside, there's enough like airflow. This is more of a torch than those are like old lighters that you could kind of see where the flame goes. I don't know. I gotta find my other lighter. But that's what I was kind of using, and it looked like 60 or 70 was fine. Yeah, I only control heat. The reason why I only control heat is, well, we gotta think about what the heat source is. A lot of people get kind of stuck that it's like, thinking about a convection roaster or a convection or conduction. This simply is just a, thermal radiation roaster. So all the heat that goes to the beam are being absorbed onto the beam you're using Planck's law, then you're thinking about like the bean color. Most of the pretty much all the heat is set to that. It's just the light, pretty much the thermal radiation is affecting the bean. It's not like the air or anything like a convection roaster. It's more of just like the radiation. So I just control heat because that's where most of the heat comes from, right? It doesn't come from like, it doesn't like rely solely on just the temperature around the chamber. It's really just what the beans are absorbing. What's your usual roast time for first crack? And I don't know. Let's go find out. Usually if you have enough like what's that thing called? It's like when you have enough heat that's built up in the system and you kind of just pop the beans in. Like thermal momentum, I guess. You could get done pretty fast. I've had beans sometimes finish in like 6 minutes. And they tasted fine. I don't know. Everyone says they're probably not, you know, baked or what's it called, roasted all the way, but yeah. That was like when I think I charged like what, 2 something crazy, and then because I kind of messed up on the time, and it literally just shot through the whole like roasting process in like under 7 minutes, like 6 minutes and something seconds. Probably like 220, but I definitely did notice some like scorching on the top because it was just a little too hot. But that's something you also got to keep in mind is like, yeah, when I charge high, my RR is very unstable. Nah, mine was a little it's, well, I guess we're gonna find out how stable it is today. All right, I'm trying to find a bean. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna be doing this, the Guatemala Proyecto. I'll change all the names and everything later, but we'll kind of see how this goes. I'm on a time crunch. I got to pick up my kid in a few minutes, but I wanted to play with this before I do all my shipping of the V2s later. All right, so it looks like it's keeping at 200 pretty well. It's just turning it on and off, and yeah, I'm just watching it. I don't know. We were trying to use this funnel. I don't know if it's working that well. Still really. I gotta print out another funnel. Let's see. So we'll start off at 200. I think I put auto charge in, so we'll see how that goes. But let's drop this in. I think it's been about 5 minutes. Well, let's try 60. I'll try keeping it at 65 today. And then I'm gonna turn off the PID stuff later because I'm not gonna I'm gonna manually control it. Well, let's see. What time is it? 10:57. That's enough time. Okay. Let me get a weight on this. I'm trying to be good. This was the recent batch I managed to maintain well first crack. Nice. Okay. All right. I'm gonna dump this in. And we're gonna see how these beans go. Okay. Let me turn this. I'm gonna turn off the PID. There we go. It's on the app. Pew. There we go. Oh, thank God. I was like, where the hell is my ROR curve? Yeah, that's a dip. Already? You can do it on Artisan. They hard lock it for 80 for some reason. I have no idea why. Like 65 RPM is not where you want to be at with this. I'm crashing pretty hard on this ROR. What's going on? I probably should have started at 90. I think you could change the increment slider on the Artisan. What the hell is going on? Yeah, that's the thing about Artisan is you can customize it to do whatever you want. Where are you going? Not yet. I don't even think it's. Where are we at? Still a little bit green. Still at the drying phase. Okay. Got the yellow in. Oh yeah. Do I care about these flicks? I have no. I can't taste them. Like I don't care about these flicks at all. Like I tried different coffees. I had a bunch with a lot of flicks in it, and it tasted just as good as the last time I made it with the same bean. Um, I honestly can't take. I was listening to like a Rob Hoos lecture, and he was like, "Can you really taste those flicks and crashes?" Yeah, I can't. I wish I could tell you, but they taste fine to me. Oops, 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 oops. There we go. There it is. I usually aim. I'll probably stick to like. I think I want to go for like a minute after first crack is usually when I'll drop. If I could hear it first drop or first crack on this thing. One. Oh, here it is. The symphony, the orchestra. There we go. 460 grams. Oh, wasn't paying attention to time. We're just going to do it 1 minute and 15 seconds. I got to get my fan on. That part sucks. Okay, we didn't really fix that. So I've been really into like cupping like maybe a few hours after, and then I like to like save the bean and then just see what it tastes like over time. That's kind of like my general, because people say you could degas it and whatever, but I'm a fan of. I kind of want to see what it tastes like over time, right? I want to see what degassing does, and I think the best way of doing that is just tasting it over time. So I haven't done it where I've literally roasted it and I was like, I ran out of coffee. I'm just gonna drink it right now. And then it's just insane how mute the flavor is when you first start. Like it's like I think I did a geisha once and I was like, this tastes like tea. This tastes like a really like calm tea. And I did that like at a light roast. And then I tasted it like a month after, or I think I'm on my third week of it, and I was just like, oh, this is a totally different bean. So I know the common thing right now is what people want to do is they want to, you know, keep that at a steady decline. I probably did a poor job managing my heat here. Probably should have dropped it maybe a little bit more instead of just once. Maybe dropped it a little bit more. Probably here would have been a good idea to drop it more. Because I know people want to achieve that like declining ROR curve. Um, but I've had ones where it's just all over the freaking place, and I was like, oh, I lost this roast, but it came out fine. It tasted okay. And then like this roaster is a little bit different from those conventional drum roasters that Scott Rao uses, the old school um convection conduction drum roasters where it takes a long time for like to see the cause and effect of like as soon as you adjust the heat. It could take up to like maybe 30 seconds for that heat change to occur. Or here, that's kind of quick, real quick. Um, so yeah, so far my only thing I really don't like right now is how I can't adjust the cooling fan of the beans. That part kind of sucks, and that's probably my biggest thing right now. And I don't see in ET like there's BT, usually there's ET. I guess we haven't implemented it yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll put that in later. And let's complete this log. And you can adjust like how it looks. Oop. How the filtering is. I think normal's fine. That's the point. I mean, that's what they're trying to do with the software PID. Let's try it. Let's see what I can show you what that would look like. So, I don't know. I'll get my color meter later. Actually, let me pull it out. So I got one of these color meters. I built this one. It's the open source one that I really like. I think it's great. Oh, this one. Yeah, I think next time. Oh, you know, I wasn't smart, and then I don't know if I have another set of those beans. I should have grabbed another. I have one. I have 5 pounds of somewhere else. I'll try the pid next time. I totally forgot. I should have did that. Wasn't thinking. I was really just wanted to play with this. All right, here's my roast meter. This thing has to warm up a little bit. All right. I'm gonna grind some up and I'm gonna see what it roasted at. Oh my god, that was hot. What the fuck? God, this. I'm sorry, y'all, but this bean cooling fan sucks. It doesn't really cool the beans fast enough for me, but I know some people say it does a good job, but it's still kind of crappy. Oops, sorry. I'm just gonna measure the beans out real quick. Whoa. All right. All right. So let's see what the load sample in the color meter. I got an 87. So it's 460 here. Roasted weight of 403. 12% loss. Oh, that's not that good. I should let it longer. Aiming for 14 or 15%. Yeah. Maybe I should have left it longer. Maybe because I usually do a minute 30, but I did a minute 15. I guess maybe the extra 15 seconds would have helped. Roast level, and then you could put ground color value. We'll put this as Agtron as 87. Very light. You're right. Very light roast. And that's not a Kenya. I got to change the name, but I'll do that later. Have the bag inside the house. I'll try tasting it later in a few hours. I'm gonna just put it in. I'm gonna bag it up. So we reached first crack at 7 minutes and 47 seconds. I've been trying to reach that 8-minute mark. Sometimes I'll shoot for that 8-minute mark, and then I'll end up to be like 10 or 12 minutes, and I'm like, I still gotta figure that out a little bit better. Let me turn this off. CLDN off. Oh, duh. There we go. All right, so we're done with that. We logged it. We're gonna exit. We'll set that as a reference roast. Oh. I called it fifth crack. I don't know why I did that. I didn't mess that up. I think I right-clicked on it. Roast curve. And then we'll go to profile, add new, and then we will. Is it this one? No. It's kind of confusing. Like, I feel like this could be done a lot better. There it is. So if I should have used butter beans. I had more of. I have like 5 pounds of this other Kenya I have somewhere in my house. I just got to find it. But if you were to do a roast with the PID, then we go to auto roasting. Then you could do heat power tracking, which is just recreating every adjustment, airflow, and drum rotation that you did over the span of the time, and it just follows that exact thing. It's not dependent on temperature. It's all dependent on like the time you did certain things at. Like when you adjusted your airflow, when you adjusted your heat, when you adjusted your drum. Then we have bean temp tracking, which is the PID algorithm. And this one will use whatever PID algorithm. I have no idea which one they're using. I don't know if they're using like Bang Bang or I don't know which one. But we'll try this. I just feel like with PID, you just need a little bit more other things to control it. Like intake fan control helps with things like anti-wind up and things like that, where it overshoots, then the air can come in and decrease the temperature. There's like so many things you could do with PID, and it's just how it's implemented. Very complicated stuff. I don't know. But I think later I'm gonna probably do a roast later, and then I'm gonna try recreating on the PID, see how it works. But yeah, I mean, I still like using HiBean. I'm running out of my slowest tablet, so it's not bad at all. I think my biggest gripe right now is just the quick control, not controlling the fan. You can control everything else. The fan go off on there, jump on there. Settings are pretty simple. Smoothen the ROR curve. This one doesn't have filter control. I think Will said he's going to implement it soon. I don't use the filter. I feel like the filter just chokes it. And I feel like it's just better off just piping it up somewhere. So I'm not too big on the filter. And I feel like you would just have to buy more of those filters. Like I feel like I roasted it like 5 times with that filter, and then I already had to replace it because it was getting choked. And I just feel like, I don't know, I don't want another consumable. I'd rather just vent it out into my garage and just breathe in all that delicious coffee smoke. Hotbox my my garage. No, I really need to set up a vent system in here, but I'll do that one day. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that filter fan. And it melts too. If you get like if you mess up like me and accidentally leave it on for too long, it did melt on me. So it's just like I don't know how good it is, to be honest with you. Some people like it. I guess it gives you a little peace of mind that you might be having a filter filtering out all that stuff that's coming out, but I don't think it's effective. I think once it gets blocked, it's just gonna find another route to get out and probably build up smoke into your chamber. So I think that's the last thing we want. That's okay. You're not roasting the second crack, right? Have you tried roasting the second crack with this thing? It's insane. The amount of smoke. I was just like, I just don't want to do second crack because now the bean tastes nasty and now my whole garage stinks. Yeah, I'd done second crack like twice on this machine. I was not a happy camper with how the bean ended up tasting, and like just overall the aftermath of the smoke lingering in my garage, smelling pretty gross. And what bean was that? I think that was a not Arabica. What bean was that? It's like this. It's like a dark bean. Everyone it's just roasted dark. It was from the Philippines, and God, it was god awful. Um, it literally tasted like car tires, like on fire. I don't know if I don't know if that's a smell or a tasting note, but yeah, it tasted like God, I can't think of the name of that bean was, but it was. I'm not a fan. I'm trying to think of the name. It's not an Arabica. It was something else. It's another popular one, but everyone roasts it really dark, like Vienna. I can't think of the name of that bean. Robusta. That was what it was. I roasted a Robusta. I made it to go to second crack with it, and it tasted like when California was on fire, um, in Northern California, and the smoke came there. It literally tasted like that. I was like, what an awful experience to have drinking that coffee and having to drink it that dark. Although I might have made a good espresso, I'm not sure. Boy, I tell you what, I'll never. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever do a Robusta again. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I need to do on there. What else settings are on here? Oh yeah, there's another big thing. Come back. We can now do it in freedom units for all my freedom friends out there. We can now roast in freedom units. So I know a lot of people were complaining like it's not in Fahrenheit. So we'll put in Fahrenheit, which is good. More options are always better. But I don't roast in Fahrenheit. I prefer Celsius. I feel like it just makes more sense, and I could talk to people around the world without confusing them. What else is there? Oh, sharing. There you go. Oh, my stuff is still here. Oh, but expired. Damn it. I wonder if I could re-up it. All right. So then you could share that code. So that's how you could share. So if you want to share one of your rows, let's go back. So if I wanted to share that roast, I would go to, I think, roast logs. This one right here, and then share. And then I could go, let's go to Discord. Oh, this doesn't have Discord. Oh, this doesn't have Discord. I'll put it on my drive. Oh yeah, sharing would be few. Yeah, it would. I mean, the beans aren't the same, but it's just the thought of we can all purchase the same kind of bean Like maybe well, we have Sweet Maria's here in the U.S. or Body Coffee, Bodhi. It's just the thought of like, oh, I did it this way. I'm going to share you that exact setting with this QR code. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Other than that, this is kind of just it's just nice to share how you did it. None of these coffees will be the same if you try using this exact one. The taste will probably won't be the same at all. But I will save that. Image successfully saved. I'll save that shared to myself later. Really? I feel like Mexico. Oh, only local? I feel like Mexico's. Where is that? Can't order from Sweet Maria. Well, now it's time to be a distributor. Now you gotta go get a farm and go distribute some beans to us. I think we have a guy from Colombia here that was doing that, which was kind of cool. Yeah, those tariffs are kind of sucking right now. Ah. I don't know if anyone's ever messed with soak settings, but I want to try this. I don't know how soaking works. Like, I don't know if it's advantageous, but I'm down to try it out. Software PIDs, fan adjustments, heat power adjustments. Wow, there's no errors. That's actually pretty cool. Green management. Got my Kenya. Sorry, I'm just looking through all the options. There's so much things you could add in, which would be nice if there was a website. So Celsius, Fahrenheit. But yeah, the beta's out. Definitely give it a try. I still think it's the same. Feel fantastic. I still like it. I just like it better than Artisan because it's just easier to use. Yeah, robust. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. No problem. But yeah, if we could find a bean together and just share it with everyone with the V2, kind of share it, and then we could share the profiles, and I think that'd be a fun little project to do, like a little group roast, to see how it all comes out. I think that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think later we'll go see LPID, how that will work. I'm not quite sure how they implemented it, so it might not be great, but who knows? Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. Like if we all just came, roast together, talked about what we're tasting, and then maybe even cup it later. And I think it'd be cool if we all somehow got the same results. That'd be really cool. And I think the app kind of bridges that a little bit better than Artisan. Artisan, I'd have to like send you an A log, and it kind of gets lost in the